Please click the Show More button if you care to read along. Enjoy. Our science is totally dependent on gravity, and yet gravity doesn't even pass as a hypothesis. Because there's nothing at all to be measured or tested. But not only do they get away with calling it an accepted working theory, they use it to explain everything. Gravity is merely a law of authority. It's based on social proof only. It's not a law of physics. It's an incantation, a lie. It's dark magic called science, and we have all been under this spell for a very long time. What kind of law says that if we can get high enough then we never have to come back down? If gravity can bend even light, then how is it that helium and hydrogen, the two most abundant elements in the universe, completely defies gravity's effect? It has been over 400 years, and not so much as a single graviton has been isolated. There's no experiment for gravity's validation, nor can it be demonstrated or reproduced. Calling falling objects gravity-bound is like calling stolen goods free. Things do not fall to the center mass of gravity, they simply fall down because thin air doesn't have the density to support anything heavier than thin air. The ground, however, does. It's all about buoyancy and density. Things that are finer will rise. Things that are grosser will sink or fall. If it is gravity that keeps the oceans in their beds as the earth spins 1,000 miles an hour, then insects couldn't fly and clouds couldn't float. In fact, everything would be crushed. If it's the moon's gravity that causes tides, then why aren't lakes, ponds and streams affected? If gravity could raise oceans, then we would feel it. We would weigh less. Tides are caused by electromagnetism. Water is diamagnetic and is repelled by the sun's positive magnetic field and is compelled towards the moon's negative magnetic influence. How is it that there is no gravitational relationship between the sun and the moon? When the moon is between the sun and earth, that's one thing, but when the sun and earth are both pulling on the moon, then the moon should be slamming into the earth, unless the moon changes speeds and trajectory, which it does not. The sun's gravity will pull a comet directly towards the sun's center mass of gravity, and yet the same gravity will somehow prevent an impact from occurring. This is pure monkey science. Gravity answers everything that official experts can't. It's the gravity of their situation. Gravity failed as theory, it even failed as a hypothesis. It was rejected by its architecture Sir Isaac Newton in 1666, and yet it's considered one of the 4 fundamental forces in nature, along with electromagnetism and the weak and strong nuclear forces. Gravity fails as a theory, but it's accepted as a basic fundamental law of nature. Think about that for a moment. Only an imaginary and magical force such as gravity could make life on a round ball Earth seem possible, which just happens to contradict the Bible, and so gravity becomes the law of the land, no pun intended, in accordance with the authority, and is strictly enforced in every learning institution in the world. Gravity is electromagnetism, which causes density, which causes buoyancy. Gravity is the lost of divinity, and moral relativity is a portal for perversion. No true up or down. No true right way or wrong way. No true right or wrong. And then the next thing you know, your kids have to share public bathrooms with adults who don't even know what gender they are.